Hello and welcome to the Property Show. Well, if you're looking for a home in any of India's top metros or tier 2 cities and new emerging destinations, then this is a space to keenly watch out for every day of the week. At the same time, this time on NDTV Prime. And here's what we've got on today's show. Housing finance companies come under the scanner. One property gets financed by the same bank more than once. How does that even happen? That report coming up. Also, property options culled out in a budget of 40 lakh rupees. Best options in Greater Noida. Again in Jaipur, a budget home in 35 lakh rupees. Mumbai, though, we can't keep it cheap. 2.5 crores is the budget. What are your options? Pune at 85 lakh rupees, premium apartments. Bangalore, 30 to 35 lakhs. What can you buy, which will be good for your money? So lots and lots of cities lined up, your questions and of course our stories. We will take a look at Greater Noida, Bhiwadi and Jaipur markets, but before that, our top story. While looking for a property, most of the time you would look for credible assurances like approved by so-and-so bank or project financed by so-and-so bank. That's usually our barometer to check that all is well with that property. But today we are going to delve into a case study where the implicit faith we tend to have in our financial institutions gets questioned. Can you imagine what if the flat you have been paying your EMIs on is also owned by two other people completely unknown to you, and all these others have also taken a loan on the property? Vasudha Sharma gets to the bottom of the case.
Towering promises of a dream home once, and now all that remains of it are these abandoned, unfinished towers. Shiv Kala Charms, a group housing project in Delhi's southeastern suburb of Greater Noida, is a startling case of multi-layered fraud involving not just the builder but also housing finance companies. Buyers share shocking details of how 140 flats in this project have been sold to over 300 people, and how housing finance companies have even extended overlapping loans on single units.
Top bank like LICHF, they have financed 150 flats, knowing that only 140 flats are there, units are there, and they have financed 150. And they have financed multiple number of flats twice. If you say one flat to 3-4 buyers, some are the virtual flat. If you see, only 4 towers are here, but they have given a loan on virtual like 2225 series, and those numbers are 49.
At the behest of the Reserve Bank of India, the National Housing Bank, which is the regulatory watchdog for housing finance companies, prepared a report where it clearly indicts top housing finance companies for failing in their due diligence. 2 years since that damning report, while the builder at the heart of this 300 crore scam is behind bars and fighting for bail, the 6 well-known housing finance companies who granted multiple mortgages on single or imaginary flats have not taken any action against their errant officials. The National Housing Bank on its part agrees that housing finance companies today are majorly driven by targets.
There is overcrowding in this market space where the lenders are vying with each other and falling over each other to actually get a pie of the market share. So there is normally a tendency to down their guards and affecting the quality of due diligence in a rush to get the market share.
This project was approved under the Advanced Processing Facility, or the APF, which means that all legal and technical checks must have been conducted by the housing finance companies to approve this project. But the question is, if 140 flats were sold to over 300 people, was the APF process even carried with strict due diligence?
How do you explain 2 branches of the same housing finance company in the same area office sanctioning different loans on the same property? Does this point to some systemic deficiencies in the way housing finance companies are run?
The lenders, when they have a direct exposure on a project where they are giving a project loan, they do a more thorough and a more detailed due diligence, because there the borrower is the builder himself and the security is their entire mortgage property. So they have to do a very thorough due diligence. But when they are giving loans to the borrowers or the buyers who are going to buy property in those projects or outside those projects, their due diligence of the project normally is not of the same standard.
As a response to such multiple financing frauds, the National Housing Bank has set up the SARSAI, which is a central registry portal that maintains records of all loans sanctioned by different lenders. But even that is yet to become foolproof. The NHB's action till now has been to only demand answers from the HFCs, while the district administration's investigative report has been brushed under the carpet. These buyers have knocked all doors and now are hoping for the intervention of the higher courts or the CBI.
Problem is that no authority is prepared to listen and after listening taking an action, because CDO report is the administration's report, it's not mine and your. It is a document prepared by the district administration, and they have inducted so many institutions. Nobody is taking any action. Nobody wants to take cognizance of that. Why?
For banks, for builder, this is whatever, easy money होगा या NPA हो सकता है, but हम लोगों के लिए एक सपना था, मतलब आप समझ रहे, जो हार्ड एंड मनी हमने इसमें डाला है वो हवा होने वाला है, और बैंक फिर भी चाहता है कि हम 300-350 लोगों से EMI लेते रहें, और किसको फ्लैट देंगे पता नहीं, लोन टर्म पूरा करने के बाद आप क्या देंगे, हमको पेपर देंगे जो सबके पास है, शेयर सर्विस नंबर सेम फ्लैट का.
Till the time the country gets a housing regulator, the state of home buyers will remain vulnerable to such frauds. But in this case, where does the buck stop? The builder or the housing finance company? But nobody has an answer to that. Vasudha Sharma, NDTV.
Well, that's the bank case, curious case of banks giving multiple loans. We go on to taking our questions. Mandeep Singh on the phone line with us. Mandeep, hi, go ahead.
Hi, I'm looking for a property in Greater Noida, 2 BHK in 35 to 40 lakhs budget. And I've chosen a few options like Stellar MI City Homes, Ace Platinum Mahalakshmi, Green Mansion and Nimbus Park View. Could you suggest your opinion on these options, and also please suggest some other options? Thank you.
Okay, so lots of properties called out. Should we straight deep dive into them?
Yeah, I think let's just look at the key data points, because then we can compare the properties against those projects itself. The most important data point here being the inventory overhang, which is 18 months, which is area near Pari Chowk, sector Pi Alpha, and the weighted average price, which is 3,400 rupees a square foot, which is appreciated by about 26% or 10% on an annualized basis. The 4 projects that you had shortlisted were the first one, Ace Platinum, does not get a go-ahead from our side. So we will move to the next project because it's at the fag end of sector Zeta 1, around 6.5 kilometers from Pari Chowk. There are better located projects that you have shortlisted. Atulyam being one. This is by Gorsons India. This is available with the developer. It's at a pre-launch stage, available at a very low price of 2,200 rupees a square foot. Now, if you were, and it goes up to 2,800 rupees a square foot depending on the floor that you pick up. The important point is that if you look at the weighted average price is much higher, so this project, because it's on a pre-launch stage, is available at a cheaper rate. Then you have Casa Grande, which is also available with the developer. This is the developer is actually new for NCR, and but there is no fundamental issue with the project itself. Phase 1 of this project is recently completed with families already having moved in. Lastly, we have Stellar MI City Homes. This is a project available with a developer, a joint venture with Springlia Developers, and construction of the project already has started, and the project is available at an attractive price of 3,170 rupees a square foot, which is much lower than the weighted average price of the market, and the project is financed by multiple banks.
My God, so Mandeep has actually done his research well. All his projects have got to go ahead, isn't it?
3 out of the 4.
3 out of 4. Well, that's quite a strike rate, I must say, Mandeep. So good homework there. And of course, out of these 3, whichever meets your budget and your specifications, just go ahead with that. Pradeep Sharma with his next question. Pradeep, hi, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
मैम, मेरा एक प्लानिंग है भिवाड़ी में एक 3 BHK फ्लैट लेने का.
जी.
मेरा बजट है 30 to 40 lakhs के अराउंड. इसमें मैंने पीयू सिटी के अंदर एक प्रोजेक्ट देखा है, उसके बारे में आपकी सजेशन जानना चाहता हूँ. क्या कोई और प्रोजेक्ट उसके अलावा कोई वहाँ पर अवेलेबल हो?
ठीक है. All right. In fact, I just went to Bhiwadi, met Credai Bhiwadi there, and saw a lot of projects. That entire road, that Alva bypass, is coming up very well, very neat and clean, Sameer. And we also hear that Mahindra has taken a huge parcel of land to set up its auto ancillary unit.
Absolutely, and Bhiwadi is one market which is appreciated over the last 10-15 years in a very big way. People don't know about it. I was also with a gentleman in Bhiwadi just the other day. He bought land as cheap as 50 rupees a meter 10-15 years ago, and the Rajasthan government used to come to people and say that we'll give you the entire housing finance, you just consider buying land over here, and industries really benefit over there because because it's very industrial friendly
Very
area
industry friendly
compared to
area.
Haryana. So a lot of industries are actually switching from Haryana to Bhiwadi, and that's the reason why affordable housing is doing exceedingly well. And the project that you shortlisted, Piyush City, this is available at 2530, so it's a good project. The developer has developed quite a few developments over there. Also in Faridabad, project is 80 bighas consisting of plots, villas and apartments, has modern amenities also like swimming pool, clubhouse, landscape garden. We've got 3 more recommendations for you, but we'll just quickly look at the data points also. 17 months is the inventory overhang. Enough supply coming up though. 27,000 units is a large number, out of which 10,000, 30%, more than 35% is available as of right now. The mid segment is at 2,600 rupees a square foot. Appreciation has been normal, about 12.4% on an annualized basis. The 3 other projects that you can consider are Ashiana Town by Ashiana Housing. This is getting ready in 2016, available with the developer. It's a 50-acre township with decent amenities, including departmental stores within the clubhouse. Then you have Krish Icon by Krish Infrastructure. This is also on Alwar Bypass Road. This is bang on the road. Construction has already started for this project, and Krish Vatika as a project has already been delivered by this group. Terra Elegance by Terra Group. This is the last recommendation, available with the developer. This is also on the main Alwar Bypass Road. It's an attractive entry point at 2,500 rupees, so much cheaper than the other projects that we are recommending, and construction is already underway.
All right, so there are 3 projects. Bhiwadi, a destination that we like. We think that it's a good one for affordable housing, looking at the industrialization prospect of that city. And of course, I also hear from the Kredai developers that they're going to have a Bhiwadi Urban Development Authority, and there's going to be a fresh posting of a new officer who is very progressive. So we'll of course keep you updated on all the developments of Bhiwadi. A lot of excitement and interest around that city. Raghuveer Singh writes in and he says, I have my own house in Jagatpura, Jaipur. I'm in a government job, and 1 year ago I've been transferred to Banswara district. I want to invest about 35 lakhs in Jagatpura only for investment. Some brokers have suggested a new project by unique builder called Joy. How is this project? Should I go for it? And the project should be close to my current home, which is in Gopalbari.
Well, definitely Mannat Group is one of the largest developers of of Jaipur, Unique Builders. This project is a recently launched project. Project construction actually is yet to start, and completion year is 2017. But if this project actually is a very good bet, but it has to have a long-term horizon. 5 to 6 years at least has to be kept in mind for an attractive return. This is about 9 kilometers and 7.5 kilometers from the railway station and the international airport respectively. So a decent location. We've got 2 more recommendations for you, but we'll just look at some of the key data points. 18 months is the inventory overhang of this market, so below the danger zone. 3250 rupees a square foot is the weighted average price over here. 17% annualized appreciation of this market, so it's done exceedingly well on an annualized basis. The other 2 projects that you can consider are Vrinda Gardens by Ashiana Housing. This is available with a developer, JV between Mangalam Group and the reputed, it's a JV with the Mangalam Group as such, with Ashiana Housing. It's launched in April last month, and construction actually is yet to start. It's a very good location of Malviya Nagar, and project is approved by all the top banks as such. The third recommendation is Courtyard by Sand Dune, Jagatpura. This is also available with the developer. It's a residential commercial project near Skit campus, and it's about 5 kilometers from the Jagatpura railway station. Construction is up to the 3rd floor and is expected to be completed by mid-2015.
All right, so 3 projects just have a long-term investment perspective, because Jaipur is not a market which is going to run away and give you huge capital appreciation in a 2 to 3 year period. The 2 projects which we've also got for you along with the go-ahead on your project are Vrinda Gardens by Ashiana Housing and Courtyard by Sand Dune. Top budget properties in Bangalore. And mid-segment homes in best locations of Chennai are up next.